Good evening, we are back here at Cricklefield for this Essex Senior League game on a Wednesday night between Ilford and Hoddesdon Town in the driving rain, as you can see. Windy, rainy, pretty stark conditions to the game a couple of weeks ago against Long Melford, and pretty stark conditions to the weekend, similar conditions to the weekend game against Saffron Walden Town as well. As you can see there, we hope you like the content that's been put up so far on the channel. If you could subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated by all of us here at Ilford Football Club. And as we get a couple of shots of the team warming up, we've got some team news for you tonight. We've got Josh Blackburn in goal. New signing Declan Cammer making his debut at fullback, with Opi Masuro, Steve Sylvester, Nashtia Ishanzade making up the rest of the defence, with Jamal Zotzi, Bailey Hossack, Georgie Evart, Dimi Christou, Juan Cardona and Yemi Adelani making up the rest of the Ilford starting 11. We are getting underway, kicking from right to left yet again, like we did at the weekend against Saffron Walden Town. I'm your match commentator, Finley Chung, again this week. Managed to keep the gig from last week, so I'll take that as we start off in the driving rain, as you can see here at Cricklefield Stadium. The wind's picking up as well, and the rain has been hand-raked down pretty much all day to make a pretty skiddy and pretty wet surface for Ilford, as Hoddesdon do have the first chance, loading a free kick into the box. Blackburn come for it, couldn't fully get a good connection onto it as Hoddesdon work it back out, and will probably try and shift the ball back into the middle here, as the ball does go into the middle and ends up getting cleared away as far as Juan Cardona, who can stretch his legs now, and he bursts down the right channel here. Juan Cardona, good bit of skills to cut inside. 1-2 with Adelani. Here's Jamal Zotzi. Here's Declan Cammer now down the wing. Christou, he's gone down there. Is that a penalty? It is. Ilford win a penalty inside the first 10 minutes as Dimi Christou went down under the challenge from the defender. And the Hoddesdon defender are protesting their innocence there as Christou got a touch to the ball first. No contact on the ball. And here's Adelani. Long run up, good penalty. Yemi Adelani gets his goal. Gets us off to a flyer inside 10 minutes here against Hoddesdon Town. And Ilford look to come forward again as Cardona and Cammer look to combine, as the fullback looks to bring it away. Well, the ball's got caught on the feet there, and Cardona's nipped in and stolen it. Here's Dimi Christou. He could still be going through here, Dimi Christou. Pops it off to Cardona. He's got Declan Cammer on the outside of him. Jamal Zotzi finds the new man at fullback. Christou overlapping him and holding off, all very congested down the route right there. Cardona can't get a flick to it, and Nashtia Ishanzade wasn't to be storming in at the far post. As the ball's clipped over the top of the Ilford defence, as Bailey Hossack will look to pop it out back to the right wing, and Ilford are caught on it here, and good combination play as Hoddesdon get in down the left for the first time tonight, as the ball is worked across, not really cleared away, and Dimi Christou picks up the loose ball for Ilford. But that's quite a poor ball. The ball held itself up on the ground. The conditions aren't really helping Ilford as well. It goes all the way across, and what a miss. What an incredible miss. The Hoddesdon attacker was spared his blushes by the linesman's flag, but what an incredible miss as the ball goes in again, and Jamal Zotzi has to be there to cut it out for an Ilford corner, for a Hoddesdon Town corner, I should say. As Sandpit now has what looks like to be the addition of a swimming pool, thanks to all the rain today. As Hoddesdon do get the corner, they seem to be crowding out Josh Blackburn here. They've put two big centre halves on the goalkeeper, the young goalkeeper. He's not the tallest keeper in the world, and that might be why, as the corner is flicked on and nearly went in. It's going to come back out to the corner taker, who tries it off. And it's in, and it's past the hand of Blackburn in at the far post. He got a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out, and Hoddesdon take the lead. As they try to go forward again. Blackburn and Hossack getting a real mix-up there, and the clearance is hacked up rather than away. And a coming together there between Jamal Zotzi, I believe, and Sean Aquila almost was calamitous defending at the back for Ilford. Now it's Ilford's turn to come forward as Christou finds Cardona. Careering challenge on the winger. And the ball is now fed out to Zotzi. Good little flick into Cardona. Again, the victim of another crunching tackle as he's wanting the side a corner. Has he or no he's offside, Jamal Zotzi? Christou caught on it. Effort blocked. Effort blocked again by Dimi Christou. And now Adalani's going to look up and see Christou, is he? Oh, that's a really good challenge by the fullback to stop Ilford in their tracks there, heading back. As Hoddesdon look to try and press Ilford and won the ball again, and the striker could be through here if they play it right. He is through. And he's got his man back in the middle. Good save, Blackburn. Really good combination play by Hoddesdon there. As the corner's flicked in again. Oh, it's in. It's in, and Hoddesdon take the lead again. The direct route from the set piece, whipping that ball around, crowding out the goalkeeper. And the Hoddesdon Town number 8, I think, was the one who touched it over the line. And it's Ilford 1, Hoddesdon Town 2. There's a new signing, Declan Kammer. Looks to link up with Jamal Zotzi as Cardona sprints down left. It might come for Adalani, who let it run across his body. He must have had a shout or something from George Abhart out on the left wing. And with around 7 minutes to go till half time, Ilford starting to up their game a little bit more. It'll come out to Nasir Ishanzadeh, and he got that one all wrong. And it arrows wide for a Hoddesdon goal kick. As Hoddesdon look to build on their encouraging period in this game, where 2 goals have seen them both come originally from set pieces, crowding out the goalkeeper, Josh Blackburn, as Ilford look like they might have some defending to do, as the number 3 backheels it cleverly into the path of... And he gets it back, the number 3, backheeled it cleverly into the path of the winger, and Zotzi's in there well. To bring it away on, Christou would have been in there. An arrowed ball, it's back out to the winger for Hoddesdon, who will not keep that in. But the visitors will get the throw in over on the far side as it is pumped back forward. Sort of headed more up than away, and the challenge on Cardona goes unpunished on. It's off the post, it's in. The effort bounced just in front of Josh Blackburn. Bounced over his hand, it seems, hit the post. And the Hoddesdon attacker rushing in could barely miss. And it's Ilford 1, Hoddesdon Town 3. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Ilford were 4 goals. 1 goal up, now they're 3 goals back. The ball, it's a calamity at the back there. It's a horrendous error from Ilford as the ball was simply played back to Josh Blackburn. And it's now 4-1, and it could get even worse. And it's flicked back, and Hoddesdon are having a field day out there. And Ilford, a catalogue of errors at the back defensively. But it's now 4-1, and the header's good save again by Blackburn. Can they force it over the line? No. And Hoddesdon are just slicing through Ilford at free will here in this first half. It is Ilford 1, Hoddesdon Town 4 at Cricklefield.
You see, from every single corner, they want to put it right on top of Josh. Now, Josh, you're big enough and man enough, you've got to do better there than 2. Yeah? Listen, you learn, it's fine. You're going to make mistakes. But where's the protection? Where's the protection for him? Why have we all just walked away and just said, all right, go on then, just put it back on him again? Why didn't someone stand there and say, you're not putting them on this, I'm going to fucking win it? No, because we don't want to take accountability. We don't want to take responsibility. We just want to hope that, all right, well, they've done their caught us out twice, no, they won't do it again. And in the half, they're going to do the same again. We've tried to play when it's not on, we've been lethargic, we're getting overrun, it's just not good enough, boys. It is just not good enough. And you know, these team talks are irrelevant now because you've got two options. You can either go out and lose 7-8-1 and carry on playing the way you are, or you can say, you know what, we're going to just go out and give everything we've got and give it a good go. But let me make no bones about it. Some of the individual basic stuff is comical. We're just giving away responsibility, just passing it over. Overhitting balls we kick the ball off for a goal hit 3 times just because we're just hitting nothing. They've got 3 centre halves and we're hitting it down their throat again. Exactly what I said on Saturday. First 10 minutes, guess what? We got the ball down, we moved it, we got through the lines, and they couldn't with us. And then, for whatever reason, we scored and we thought, oh, we just change it now. We don't need to do any of the dirty work, the work's done. Now, you can either go out and embarrass yourself, or you can go out and show a bit of fucking pride, and a bit of desire, and a little bit of, you know, resilience to say, you know what, we're not letting no more goals in, we're going to go and get 2 or 3. Because on that performance, boys, not a single one of you should be wearing a shirt on Sunday. Not a single one of you. So you've got to pull up your socks, and now you've got to show you got to show some character. Because I, for one, I'm not going to come in here and it's turn embarrassing, because it's embarrassing enough as it is. But if you get the next goal, the game becomes interesting. But if you carry on playing like that, unfortunately, you're going to come in and end up hiding, and you will deserve it. On that performance, you deserve to be in the position you are.
As we start off the second half here, after a pretty poor first half for Ilford, I'm going to start off with a half-time change as well, as George Havart is replaced by Freddie Agyemang, as Adam Peake looks to go more direct, as Adelani could win the knockdown. It comes to Agyemang, and talk about almost an instant impact. He got over that one more than anything in the end as he come onto it, stride the volley, and hooked it over the bar for Ilford. But it almost was the instant impact from the big man off the bench, as he gets it again here. He looks to go for a 1-2 with Adelani, as the keeper will retrieve that. And restart play for Hoddesdon Town. Quick fire goals in the second half, 2 goals in as many minutes after they'd gone 2-1 up for 2 goals from 2 set pieces that they stuck on Josh Blackburn and Ilford didn't deal with. Third goal, a rebound after a shot hitting the post, and the fourth goal was an own goal from Ilford after a back pass went under the foot of Josh Blackburn and rolled helplessly into an empty net as Ilford looks to try and make inroads into the 4-2 deficit as Hoddesdon clear. And it's smashed back forward again as Masuro keeps it. Agyemang turns all, and that's another good chance for the striker off the bench. He got the ball again, got it turned inside, and flashed his volley towards goal only to see it, fortunately for him, flash past the post. As Hoddesdon look to build up another attack down that left-hand side. So it's going to be a 1-2 here between the wingers as Ilford look to get away, and Agyemang was beaten to it by the fullback as Masuro clips it forward. Nobody in there for Ilford so far. As Cardona looks to get there, and there is a foot in. Here's Demi Christou, and there's a ball through for Agyemang, and there's his chance, and there's his goal. It's Freddie Agyemang for Ilford. He's deserved that since he's come on. He's had 2 really good chances, and they do say third time's the charm. He's put that one away, and Ilford are back within 2, and another substitute here as Mo Cargbo comes on in replacement of new signing Declan Cameron, who's had a pretty solid debut today. You do have to say it, right back. That would sound weird conceding 4 goals, but he's not done much wrong. Declan Cameron, the conditions have been tough, and the performance from the whole team haven't really been good enough to allow him to get into his stride. As Adimang looked to wins it again, and he's given that as a foul. He's won Ilford a free kick, and it's drilled in low. It could end up in, and Cargbo slipped right at the very decisive moment there, Mo Cargbo, when he steamed in and looked to be the one that was going to drive the effort back goalwards and potentially drive further inroads into Hoddesdon Town's advantage here. As the header's looped up towards the far post. It's almost another own goal for Ilford, as Blackburn had to watch that go past him. And it dropped wide as Cargbo finds Dimi Christou. Cargbo gets it back. And he's chalked out a really good ball for Cardona, who got really, really over that and drilled it over. As Ilford's third and final change sees Dion Lewis Kerman replace Steve Sylvester Ajudia. As Ilford throw on their last attacking resource available to them. So they now have Juan Cardona, Dimi Christou, Freddie Ajimang, Yemi Adelani and Dion Lewis Kerwan all on the pitch trying to claw back this 2-goal deficit into the final 15 minutes here. As Hoddesdon do come forward, he cuts inside really well. Oh, what a goal. What a goal. There is not much anybody in Ilford blue and white could do about that. And that deficit has just got even bigger for the Foxes to try and overturn. As it's Hoddesdon 5, Ilford 2, Hoddesdon 5 as Cargbo's effort almost slips through the grasp of the goalkeeper. And that would have certainly made it interesting. 5-3 with 10 minutes to go, and all the attacking options Ilford have on the pitch. But look at Hoddesdon counter now, and it's a really, really good challenge there to put a stop to that counter and put a stop to potential goal number 6 for Ilford. Again, for Hoddesdon Town, I should say. As the ball goes in, and there was no one round the back there for the Hoddesdon. As they look to be seeing out this final period with relative comfort, as the free kick is hit over the bar. Here, Hoddesdon Town, as the Ilford free kick is flicked on, and Hossack couldn't get there, and Lewis Kerwan was waiting in the middle as Bailey Hossack couldn't quite flick it in to the path of his man in the middle there after a good looping ball in. As Hoddesdon come away with it down that right wing again. Good challenge by Juan Cardona. Out there, and it's to be Mo Cargbo who's chasing this free kick as Adelani gets the better of his man. Here's Yemi Adelani, tries to feed through Mo Cargbo, and Adelani, he looks to go on his way. There's got to be. He feels there was a pull there back on him. Most of the players do as well, as Christou takes aim, and that's never going to trouble anybody in the whites of Hoddesdon Town. And Yemi Adelani must have thought he was fouled there, as before Christou took aim and fired the efforts over the crossbar. As it is going to be a win for Hoddesdon Town. A routine win, as it turns out, for Hoddesdon Town. Ilford just haven't been at the races today, I don't feel. And 4 individual mistakes at the back in the first half, followed by a sumptuous goal in the second half, cancelled either side of the Yemi Adelani opener for Ilford inside 10 minutes. Freddie Ajimang halved the deficit 5-10 minutes into the second half But for all Ilford's pressure in the second half, they haven't really been able to conjure up much else. As the last few moments of this game are just getting played out. Here's Cargbo through to Adalani. Couldn't quite get a hold of it. As Cargbo picks it up again. And his ball in could have caused some problems for the goalkeepers. Well, up goes Lewis Kerwan on the edge. And the ball is to be thrown back in play here and hacked away by Opi Masuro. And played forward and hacked away again. And Yemi Adalani.
Tonight, this squad has had a reality check. A real big reality check. Because when you're building something, you can't build when you perform like that. And the amount of individual mistakes today is unacceptable. Individual mistakes. 5 goals, 5 individual mistakes. I, or Darren, as a management team, cannot be talking to players about basics of positioning, of basics of understanding where you should be, understanding of looking at a situation and adapting to the situation. How can we go from defending how we did on Saturday to defending like that? And I question, you know, I question when you've got the shirt, are you determined to keep that shirt, or do you think, well, I'm playing, so I'll give it. I'll just turn up, because you cannot perform like that for any period of the game. The game was done at half time. You had nothing to do, yeah? And except for a miracle, the game was done at half time. Because the standards that had been set over the last few weeks all went out the window in the first half. Completely. And I can accept bad games. Yeah, I can. I can accept when we have a bad game. But I can't accept that we've got that vulnerability in us, because that was miles and miles and miles away from anywhere near what we need to keep growing. Miles away. And you know, you put me in a situation, because a lot of you we've kept faith with, lots of you. Some of you have been saying to me that you should be playing, and then when you go on, the quality's not there. Some of you have had very, very good games and then got into very, very bad games. And unfortunately, boys, 90% of the squad had no impact on the game today. No impact. I thought the only bright spark was when he came on. The whole 90 minutes, that was the only bright spark. He came on and he wanted to make things happen. The reality is, boys, you've had a reality check tonight. Yeah? You've had a real reality check. And that reality check is 2 things. You can either take it and go into Sunday and collapse, or you can take it and go, Sunday, that wasn't good enough. You know, on Sunday we're going to put it right. And that's the only option. And
Adam here after a rather disappointing 5-2 defeat at home to Hoddesdon Town. Have you got any immediate thoughts on that game?
Speechless. Just unfortunately, when you make 4 very, very basic individual errors from different parts of the pitch, you get punished. And tonight, we started well. First 10 minutes, we looked like we were on it. We got a very dubious penalty. We scored. They got one back, and we just unfortunately silly mistakes. And then when you go in 4-1 down at half time, you know it's if you get back in, it's a lottery. Obviously, we got a goal early. And then we started to put a bit of pressure on. Then again, we gave a silly goal away. As I just said to the boys in there, that is miles and miles away from the standards that we've set, and we got what we deserved tonight. You can't make those sort of mistakes. We were defensively naive, and it's worrying. But you know, I just said to the boys, we can either dwell on it or move on. But that was miles and miles away from where we have been, and really trying to put it all together.
And you mentioned obviously on Saturday that a bit of complacency might have crept into some of the boys. Did you feel that against tonight, or was it literally just one of those games where everything goes wrong?
There's one of those games where you make individual mistakes, you get punished. You know, some games you get away with it and you can make individual mistakes and you don't get punished. Tonight, the reality is we gifted them 4 goals. No discredit to Hoddesdon, they were the better side tonight, certainly. But, you know, your luck does run out, and tonight, you know, I as I've said to the boys, if you just make individual mistakes like that, you deserve to be punished. And these were basic mistakes. So, you know, it's a young group. You know, they've got to learn how to come back from that sort of situation. But you know, when you think it's taken a step forward, we've taken 2 steps back, which means, you know, Sunday's game that we've got to see a reaction.
As you say, a game on Sunday as well, and already like pretty tight schedule, so you're obviously going to be looking for a reaction from some of the boys. We had a bright spot when Freddie came on.
Yeah.
Is that something you're going to look to maybe utilise on Sunday with your team?
Well, I thought Freddie done well when he came on. I thought Mo was excellent when he came on as well. He got on the ball and tried to make things happen. But I don't know if it was complacency. I think it is. You know, we've spoken all season about individual errors, and unfortunately tonight, for whatever reason, you know, we couldn't cut them out. And against good sides like Hoddesdon, they punish you. And you know, we just can't afford to give away 4 goals as easy as we did tonight. And that's the more disappointing thing. You know, if you're losing, you get beat by a much better side, and you get outplayed. You know, they had a good spell when they scored the goals, but you can't let 4 goals in such a small period of time and expect to come away with anything. And you know, the reality is we were miles and miles away from where we have been in the last 3